I'm really hesitant as to the kind of information that's actually going to come out. And we are going to talk about the week of March 14th, 2025. March 14th and the following 7 days. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is G. You're watching Allastrology. Let's pull this chart up and take a peek. You're going to see a lot of common symbols on here, meaning you see the same symbol multiple times. And obviously, Jupiter is one of them. We have a couple of planets retrograding, so we're going to talk about that. And here we are. It's the 17th, so we just had an eclipse, but we do have another one coming up. So Jupiter is on the screen. It's not retrograding, but it is the big story for this 7-day timeline that we're talking about, Jupiter and Mercury to be exact. Kind of just start off with Pisces energy and ancient ruler is Jupiter, right? Yep, Neptune is also the ruler of Pisces. Can make things and people fuzzy, blurry, and disappear, right? And we think of institutional energy. I'm in the hospital, or I go to prison, or I'm just I'm sleeping, or I'm dreaming. But then Jupiter also kind of adds in additional things. Like we think of vacation when we think about Jupiter energy and getting on an airplane and traveling, right? And going overseas even, this long distance travel. And that can be a fantasy and a dream, right? Meaning, oh, I can't wait to go on vacation type of thing. We have the sun here in in Pisces. And so this is an authority figure, and it starts the week big with it being conjunct the North Node in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces. So fantasy, sci-fi, dreams, institutional energy is Pisces energy. So we think of some of those governmental institutions, okay? Even the public figures and the politicians, right? And the way they talk and the performances they put on, right? So that all kind of makes a lot of sense. Authority figure definitely is sun energy. And the sun now being conjunct the North Node right there. This is about my future, where we're headed, and it's with Pisces. Now, there's a lot of emphasis on the way something or somebody sounds, right? With that, it's creative energy, very creative energy. So we think musicians, we think the movies, we think, Hollywood, right? This is the whole role of Neptune energy in Pisces, right? Is confusion. Now, with the Jupiter key, where we don't normally think confusion with Jupiter. Normally we're like, oh, Jupiter is wise, right? It's about truth. It's about justice, right? And freedoms. Remember those keywords for both for this one, because I think it will be a little bit more accurate for you in your chart, because we all have that free will. And so again, when I go on vacation, holy shit, don't you feel free when you go on vacation? You're not at the 9 to 5. You don't have the responsibilities and the duty. You're getting a respite. You're taking a break. You're taking a vacation. And there's a freeing, like the shackles are off. I don't have a schedule. I can go swimming whenever I want. I can stay up as late as I want. I don't even have to go to bed. I don't have to be up in the morning for whatever, right? No schedule. And Jupiter loves that. Jupiter loves the idea of being free and not having any chains, and the ability to seek out new adventures. Oh my gosh, that is all about Jupiter. And for some folks, that's the great part of vacation for them. It's not just about going and laying on a beach and taking a dip in the ocean. Some folks, it's really about, I want to go somewhere I've never been, right? Go to a different country, explore different cultures. All this is Jupiter. And we're going to get back to the culture thing in a minute, because foreign lands, foreign languages, someone who doesn't look like me or doesn't speak the language I speak, Yeah, immigration. But it's God, there's so much strong energy in this chart. So, with that said, authority figure and things that have to do with our future, the North Node in Pisces energy. So, other than intuitions and being creative and speaking something that might seem super ideal and dreamy, meaning certain people's beliefs systems there might be things that someone in charge is talking about where we're just like, oh yeah, that sounds like a fantasy for me. I would love that, right? Venus starts off the week at 6 in a retrograde here. And then Mercury's in 9 in a retrograde, right? They both got to about 9, 10 degrees and are going backwards. And they go back to these degrees. They go back all the way to about where this black line is to 25 degrees in Pisces, which means our values and the money, our values, do we value the planet and the earth? Remember, Venus rules Taurus, that's the earth and the food, right? And the relationships, the partnerships, because Venus also rules Libra energy. So we think of justice and equality, but then Mercury, the reporter, the news, gathering the details, and Venus and Mercury going backwards, right? Aries energy, physical body, it's taking action. They go back and they have to do some investigating. They're going to be doing some investigating. So, with that, whatever we're hearing this week from this authority figure, like there's other bits of information because there was so much confusion. These two have to go back, gather the information, and then come back forward again. Okay. So, with that said, the sun will leave the Pisces energy this week. Okay. By Friday, the sun will be in Aries energy at 0 degrees. All right. So that changes a lot. When the sun is in Pisces, it is about unity and oneness. It's not combative at all. It might sound a little illusional and delusional, right? When it goes into Aries, it becomes very aggressive, very assertive. So this would be authority figures in your life. The sun also has to do with your energy, how you're feeling. Were you feeling run down when the sun was in Pisces? Did you want to sleep all the time when the sun was in Pisces? Sure, absolutely. Did you want to just listen to music and get away and escape with the sun in Pisces? For sure. So when the sun goes into Aries, it's really physical. It wants to take action. Okay. So Friday is when Aries season begins, when the sun enters Aries. So Venus and Mercury this week, they go back to, in their retrograde, they stay in Aries. Venus only gets to 1 and Mercury gets to 4. All right. Now remember, this is Mercury, so it's fire. So you can see some of this fiery energy we have over here. We're looking at Juno partnerships, committed partnerships, typically love and marriage. However, it is in Sagittarius. It's been in Sagittarius since the end of January. And here we are in March. And not only has it been in Sagittarius at this degree, but it has been going back and forth between 0 and 1 degree since then. So it's fascinating for me because this is a Jupiter ruled sign. But because it's between 0 and 1, the 0 is Aries energy. So there's action being taken. There's movement here. And it's Jupiter. So whether it's the Supreme Court, physical bodies, over the water, possibly, we think the beliefs, we think religion and spirituality, but of course, justices, Supreme Courts, and judgments and rulings. And of course, immigration, physical bodies, immigration. And it's a big trine in the chart. It's a powerful trine that's here this whole week. We have the 0 degrees and the 1 degrees in fire that Venus and the sun and Mercury are all merging upon, right? And Juno just kind of sits there. So there's this connection with a lot of action, and it's a lot of it's big action. There's a flurry of activity of physical bodies likely because there's a lot at the Aries degree, not to mention a lot of energy in Aries. And Chiron is here at 21. Chiron is the wound, right? It's still in Aries. Takes a minute for it to get through here. But 21 degrees, 21 is a Jupiter degree. I'll say it again, 21 is a Jupiter degree. So we have Chiron there at the Jupiter degree. So Jupiter, again, Jupiter in Aries, the beliefs about my body, my right, my existence, my ability and the location to be where I am. And Jupiter pops in like, oh, but you're not here legally. So again, everyone throws around that word legal. Am I here legally, illegally? I think a more accurate word might be whether I'm here. Am I documented, right? Because it's not illegal to come here, right? It's whether you're actually documented, and the United States kind of has to fix that problem. They're not, um, there's a huge lag and a delay on all that. But look at the chart. Look at the Mercury and look at the Jupiter, just without even looking at the planets. Look at the symbology. Look at the different locations where Mercury comes up, even in Pluto. Change within group energy, and it's Mercury. Mercury is transportation. It can be local transportation, but it's definitely communication, very busy, it's scattered, right? It's the jack of all trades. It's Mercury. It's my local neighborhood. But it's a mixture because it's that local stuff, so networking with mass transportation. You see, Mercury is there. We go up here and we got the South Node in Virgo, domestic energy. These are people who work in the service industry, right? People who do the work that nobody else wants to do. These are people who can put their lives in danger. They service literally. These can be your cops, your fire workers, your fire people, firefighters. These can be people who are like nursing, people who do like housekeeping, people who are picking fruit in the fields, people who yeah, who do like wherever you go, you've got people serving you food at the table. You've got people in the back of the house cooking. You've got people in the back of the house doing the dishes, right? That's Virgo energy. It's in your home, but it can also, like, it's the service industry in general. News, Mercury, 27 degrees, my local community, a big release of some sort because it's the South Node. It does bring back some stuff about the past, for sure. So we can say we're even kind of talking about a superpower, but at 27 degrees, the 27 itself is also a Mercury degree. And this Mercury, well, it rules Virgo. So there's double Mercury energy, lots of talk and communication going on, lots of networking, very frantic, very kind of busy energy, even though it's in Earth. So I wouldn't normally say frantic associated with that. Jupiter. Here's Jupiter in the chart. It's going forward. It's not retrograding. It's going forward. And you see it 1357. So it's going to go from Aries to Taurus. So we think money, we think values, we think banking, we think food, creature comforts. And then we go to the Mars energy, right? Because Mars is sitting here at 19. It's no longer retrograding. It is still out of bounds. And it's in Cancer, home and family, the past, it's history, it's ancestry, the moon energy, emotions. It's Mars. usually inflames things, can be cuts and wounds on your body and inflammation, can also be a person who carries a weapon because it's Mars. Homes, housing, it's Mars energy. And this Mars will go to 21 this week. It's not a fast mover. We kind of see the major theme all the way around the chart. I've got Jupiter drawn up there because it's the main story for this whole week until next week. There's Mercury with the South Node and at the Mercury degree, domestic energy, details, schedules, calendars, perfection. I work really hard at serving independently one-on-one on a personal level, like a personal assistant type of thing, like a secretary even, right? This is Mercury. I'm the writer, I'm the scribe, definitely the news. And then we go to Jupiter and Mars here, home and family, my local community. Still, Jupiter is big, transportation, immigration. And then we have Venus and Mercury in Aries, the physical body, the location of my physical body, my appearance. How does one know if someone's an immigrant? It's based on the appearance, right? How does somebody know exactly? Unless you're an employer asking for papers, asking, for documentation, which I would think a lot of business owners might be like, you know, I haven't done that, or I have, whatever. I'm not sure. I'm not one of those people, but you would have no way of knowing for sure. And if you haven't asked for proof, then you make an assumption on appearance. And so this is this Venus and this Mercury going backwards. There's a reprioritizing, a reevaluation, choices and options because it's a Mercury retrograde, which is including the freedom of our body and the location of my body, my rights. But they go back into Pisces. So again, Jupiter comes up with Neptune again and possibly physical bodies disappearing because of the Neptune effect of Venus and Mercury. So news and information, right? Something that maybe got confused, but because it's Neptune in the North Node, I'm going to be real. This Mercury and this Venus going backwards to get information like a normal retrograde because they don't have all the details. So they got to get the details and then go forward and deliver the information. I am not real confident, to be honest with you, because when they go back and get back here and touch Neptune and then touch the node again, I strongly feel because they're connecting with the sun. You see, they have to touch the sun and talk to the boss. So they talk to the boss and then they enter Pisces. And stories may change. Information might get lost. So when it comes time for them to go forward, I'm really hesitant as to the kind of information that's actually going to come out. And is it legit? Has it been manipulated? Has it been molded and shaped to form and to fit the Pisces movie, the Pisces story? And part of the news and the deep changes, and yeah, it's at the Mercury degree and it's with the group energy. And Aquarius is the social systems, the structures of those systems. And I think that for people traveling, it's a wonderful time for vacation and to go traveling, except for this. This is my concern. Someone traveling vacation during a Mercury retrograde and a Venus retrograde, somebody might lose their wallet and leave it. There might be some values that get left behind. So you go back to go get the values. A real quick story, and then I got to end here. I had a piece of jewelry on, which is bizarre. I don't wear jewelry. I don't like it. I just don't like something around my neck or on my wrists and stuff like that. So anyway, what I was wearing though was actually quite special. It was a gift. Anyway, there was a lot of meaning connected to it. Okay. And sure enough, I came out of wherever I was, and like 20 minutes later, I'm like, oh my God, because someone was like, where's your necklace? I'm like, what do you mean? And I'm like, holy shit, I don't have it. Where is it? So I had to go back to where I had just been, right? I had to walk into the business, wherever this was, whenever, because this was some time ago. And I said, I was just in here a little bit ago and I didn't realize it at the time. But once I had come out, like my necklace, I haven't been anywhere else. My necklace is missing. Can I go back to where I was at, where I was sitting or whatever? I don't know if it was a theater. I can't remember, to be honest, a restaurant or anyway, I was just somewhere different, right? So they're like, well, sure. So they took me to, they kind of guided me, right? They were with me. They escorted me there. So I went back and they're like, well, the staff, nobody found anything. And I said, okay. And so I just, because it was so important to me, I wanted to look myself, right? To see. And so I looked around, I got on the floor and I'm looking, different wherever. And of course, nothing showed up. Nothing showed up. And I thought, what the hell? And when I went back, like there was nobody there. The place was empty. And I'm like, so where did it go? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't know what happened while you were gone. Did I know for a fact that it was lost there? No, I don't. I do know that the necklace had this loose clasp on it. And yeah, I didn't take care of it and it probably just slid off. And it was super unique and and the weird thing is that my name was on it and someone, anyway, it was written in Egyptian, so some hieroglyphics, so probably somebody had no idea what it said and probably thought it just looked cool. And to me, it was like, damn, that was like the one thing in terms of like jewelry that I felt like, I don't know, I felt a very deep connection to it, other than the fact that it was a gift. It was a gift from my mom, actually. And so whether it's vacation or whether there's ramping up, but traveling is big, thinking and talking, what we're, sharing as far as, on social media, of course, because Mercury's big in the chart, but traveling, going on vacation. And next week we'll pick back up on Monday for the Monday video, but that's the week of the next eclipse. So there is a separate video for that. So if you haven't seen it, go ahead and watch it. Choices and decisions and options have to be made, right? But if you in your life have to do something like that, if you want to wait until these Venus and the Mercury retrogrades are done. Like as far as purchases, especially if there's major purchases, you kind of want to wait. Okay? So we'll get more into that a little bit later on when everything gets done out of the retrograde. I'll give you another heads up as to when all that takes place, and we'll go from there. All right. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got something out of it. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.